baggie, because a baggie lives on forever.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. It's wonderful. This is a whole different, you're learning completely different than what.
Yeah, when I was out, I worked in Washington State with most of the Pacific Northwest tribes there, and then I worked in Northern California with those tribes, and then so now I'm here doing a different thing. The Eagles are pretty cool. That's a good part of it. But I also have some others. There's a couple of them programs that are really interesting. But I grew up in Utah.
Willa.
You grew up here, didn't you say?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I left here when I was 19, went to Vietnam. Just a kid. Man, I look at those pictures, all the old pictures like that, we were just kids.
Yep, sent over into a war, fighting for your country. It is crazy when you think about it, because they're babies. They were babies. I was a baby, and I remember the guys, both my brothers went. And it was crazy. It was a wild time.
Yeah, what's been tough is we scheduled all of these, tried to schedule them for the whole year, which was gonna be the second Friday of each month, but other things that I committed to, I didn't put them on my calendar, and you say, hey, remember you said you'd do this? I have to move the dates, and I think that's some of the difficulty for the public, because they get used to one date, then I moved it.
Yeah. So, do you like this? Do you think you'd rather just do it to Facebook rather than show up? Or
No, I
like
like the personal contact,
Yeah.
because I think people learn more that way, those who come. Yeah, like, the last one was pretty interesting because, I had, sang some songs, and one of the ladies who was here talked about my aura,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, whoa, your aura is
Wonderful.
big off the chart.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I talked with her a little bit about spiritual things. Yeah, I make a lot of good contacts that way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I missed the last one because I was on the wrong day. Because I'm retired and I just don't even pay attention to the days of the week. And so I go into this, and then I look and I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't
The day off.
I was a week off. I was a week off, where he, I'm like, trying to figure a better way, like you said, to write it down so I don't want something deep or something, so I don't.
Yeah, he's calendar.
Yeah. You put it on your calendar, your phone is the phone thing.
Yeah, everything's in here, man. If I lose this, I've lost my life. Well, let's get started. Can you hear me without the mic?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Mike West, hello friends. Larry Sesbridge here. Today we're going to be talking about Mercury Week, is what we call it. It's the bear dams. A long time ago, the winters were pretty harsh when we were in the teepees. And I'm going to show a couple of films here shortly, telling the whole story of one of the, when the snows went down, the men went out to hunt, and one came across a bear and this bear was dancing back and forth to a tree, a pine tree, and he'd scratch that pine tree, and the man couldn't believe his eyes, and he got closer to make sure what he was seeing was really what was happening. And what he seen was, of course, the bear. The bear began to talk to him and told him to take this, what he shows him, back to his people and to celebrate this every spring. So this May, last week, started our bear dances here on our reservation, went in RA. First one was down in Randelette, and this weekend it's in Fort Duchesne, and it's free. You ought to go over and check it out and get a chance. They usually start dancing in the afternoon about 3 and go into the evening. Sometimes they have night dancing where they'll set up a fire and people keep dancing. The last couple days are pretty good. The last day will be Monday. The first couple days they dance in lines together, men and women, and it's all around fertility. And so it's ladies' choice. And so the lady usually has a shawl, and she goes and flicks her friends at whoever she wants to dance with, and they have to dance with them because that's just a rule. And if they don't, there's a guy, he was called Catman, and he has a big switch that he'll hit you with and embarrass you to make you get out there and dance. A long time ago, they used to make them pay money if they didn't go out and dance, or have to give them something for turning down the dance. But it's a lot of fun, so anybody can dance. Just take you a shawl if you're a lady, and if you're a guy and you want to dance, just go over and sit in the section where you can see all of the guys being picked, and more than likely somebody will pick you. One of the things that the men do is they get all dressed up in their finest, as well as the women. But if you can imagine the peacock thing, where men get all spruced up to be able to catch the lady's eye, well, that's kind of what the men do. They get all dressed up in their best and hope to get picked. And you've got to be in shape. Your legs, you're going to be dancing and using your legs. The last couple of days, they split up the lines into couples, and then they go the full length of the bear dance corral. And that's where you really got to have stamina, and that's what the dance is all about. You see most of them are young people. And it was a way back when, for all the youth people to come together and meet, and nowadays they call it hook up. But to meet and to get together, and that's how a lot of the intermarriage happened between the Ute tribes, between us and our sister tribes in Colorado. And so a lot of them come up still and dance here, and then we'll go down and dance with them at the end of the month on Memorial Day, Memorial Weekend. So first film I'm going to show is Henry Sesquich, who was a grandpa of mine. He was the oldest bear dance leader, and he's telling his grandson, Skylar, about the story of the bear dance. And the old man has moved on to the spirit world, and so his grandson is the one who has taken over to the Randelette Bear Dance, and that was last weekend. And the old chief was the one who also taught A.J. Knipp, who's the bear dance leader now in Fort Duchesne. And so the story is what's passed down through generations. There's different versions of it, but this is the one Henry Seskovich has told, and so a lot of people know this one. So get it going here. You hear it?
Days when the people used to live way up on the mountains. Them days. They could take care of themselves. They have to have their own food. They knew what kind of food to get to store with for winter. They get honey every day, and their wives would be like chirping. And they have buffalo hide, old tan, that ain't tan, but the skin is all clean. And they put this meat in there stored away. That meat, drag it, or whatever they and that's what they used to live on. So there are a lot of people. There's a whole bunch of people. I don't know how many, about hundreds of them, I guess. And every morning, they go up, the men go up hunting. And about evening, about this time, they come in with meat. So they hang this meat overnight, and next morning they start to jerking it. That's how they used to have their food made for winter. So, one morning, one man had a family. He says, I'm going to hunt again. The boys was over there, enough for me not to carry us on through the winter. Not need a little more. You can't tell. It might be hard to winter. What we're going to do? We run out of food. So his wife said, okay, go hunt. Get some more meat for us. So he went, everybody go out. See? Then this man that said that to his family, he said, he took off, not very far. There was a little hill over there. There's kind of a downhill like. He stood on top of that hill, look and see if he seen the deer. He was watching this way. He saw somebody standing by the pine tree, standing like a person like this, like pine trees here, and somebody standing towards it, had his arms like that. He had his arms facing that pole, that tree, the pine tree. Then he scratched it like this hard. You see all scratch marks on that pine tree where he's been dancing every morning. So this man was watching him go. He wasn't too far from him, watching him there. But he stood still. If that bear heard him, he'd attack him. See, he knew there was mean. There were mean them days, those bears. So he stood still. Before he danced backwards, he looked at the pine up like this, raised his hand high as he could, let it come down, scratched it hard. Then he started dancing backwards like this, bear dancing. But the way we done, we danced close like this, but he was dancing forward like this. And he danced forward again toward that pine. After he get this close, he scratched it again. Then he danced backwards again. This man was watching him. So after he got through, he took off. He went down the hill as fast as he could run, that bear. And he disappeared. And this man, he just gave up then. He thought something. So he went back to the camp and told the family about it. They seen the bear dancing down there. He was dancing back and forth like this toward the pole. And that night, he called all the men in. They was going to have a meeting and just talk about it, what he seen. So they decided. One man said, well, if we seen the bear, why don't we dance that way every spring, like that bear danced? That dance means good, happiness. We see the green grass growing and the birds singing, and that makes us feel good. Let's dance it. So they did. Sure enough, that felt good. Oh, they could hear all kinds of birds singing while they were dancing. And the breeze, mountain breeze, was just blowing just right towards them. So the man that saw this bear, he gathered all those men together. And he said, we shall have they didn't have a corral like this, just out in the open. So they all got together and they danced like this man teached them how to dance. This way he was dancing, let's all line up this, so the men's on this side and the women's on the other side. So they didn't sing, they all were there just dancing like this. Later on, they made a song with that bear dance, but nowadays they don't sing it. And I'm going to sing you that bear song to you. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey. Hey, be, the women be on this side, it's supposed to, and the man on this side. Well, if the female comes in, they both stand over there, they be hugging each other down at the gate there. Finally, they apart like this. And the female comes up this way, dancing like this. She's scaring those kids. Like the fence was that high. And those kids get scared of that female bear and they go under. They run outside. Cause that bear attack them like that, and they're supposed to be that way. So she'd be coming this way until they both meet together right here where they're singing. Right here. They'd be facing the singers. And they'd be dancing the same time, going like this. And the men would be sitting over here. It doesn't make any difference if that man doesn't, them bears would tear your shirt. They grab you like this and just tear your clothes up. And you have to just, don't have to, pay attention to them. Just keep on singing. So, that's where it started from that bear dancing to get towards that pole pine. Well, I guess that's about all I can tell you now about this bear and the bear dance. That's what it means. It's going to be on now.
Bear Dance Story with Henry Sesbuch. You see in the film there that there was some claymation that was used. Back in '86 when we produced that, we had to use just old stop and start camera action. So it took about a week to shoot just what little footage you've seen there of claymation. And we had 2 sets. We had one set that was about this big that was the interior of the camps and the teepee. And then we had a big table set that was the exterior. And when the man goes up into the hills, we had the hill up here and stop start as you move them just a little at a time. And hopefully you don't make it too jerky so it gets some even flow. And the historical footage was from the Ouray Bear Dance down in Ouray, Utah. And that was probably 1938, if I remember right. So all of those folks are gone now, even in this last little clip here. Watching all of the elders there, they're all gone now. That was a whole generation there, and we're the elders now. And it's kind of hard to swallow, but
Right?
yeah, they are.
Did they pass the wisdom card to us when they did that?
Yeah.
No.
And as you see the guys, some of them had 2 ladies pick them. And when you're out there dancing, you're pushing them when you're going one direction, and when you're going their direction, they just pick you up and just bring you back here. It's pretty comical. Then you have to just try to push them forward and keep going, and then they just pick you up and bring you back. And it's a lot of work. Got to be in shape. That film made it to a lot of film festivals. It was out in the Sundance Film Festival in '94, and then we had another film in '07 that was out there. But this was the one with claymation. The next one I'm going to show is Bear Dance Story as well, but it was a reenactment of the kids. We had a program in back then it was Todd Elementary, that was called Waikapa, and it means 2 ways, a bilingual program. And so they taught the language to the kids, and one week they all went up into the canyon, Uinta Canyon, and they camped. And that's when we filmed this film. It was fun watching them because you really got a taste of how our people used to live. And everybody slept in teepees, everybody ate and cooked over the campfire. And when the boys were going up into the hills as hunters looking for game, they were stepping on cactus and they're going, oh, 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 oh. And back in the old days, the old people used to always talk about you look down and you watch where you're stepping, because we have stories of stick people. You might step on them, and also little people. And so you always made sure you knew where you were stepping, and everything out there is alive. And you don't want to have somebody come step on you, so you make sure you're real careful. But this one was shot up in Uinta Canyon, and so all the kids in this film, they're all adults now, probably some are even grandmas and grandpas. But they're all grown now, and even Skyler in the last one, He's probably 6'2" or 3". He's a snowboard instructor over in Aspen. And so I went over one time and do some presentations, and he took me out snowboarding, and I can steal Rocket Man. And so it was fun. Okay, next one is a reenactment of the bear dance story. Give me a second to set it up. I had these all lined up, but push the wrong button and you lose everything.
The bear gave the youth a dance. It happened like this. Financial teacher could take water without breaking through the ice. it was a young woman's role. To get the water for the family. On the day of the hunt, Dinaj and Awatapich prepared to join the other men. Dinaj took some dried meat. The rest of the family were still asleep. All the rest of the warriors gathered with Pawich, the chief hunter. Once they all gathered, they set out for a good hunt. They had to go higher into the mountains. They would spread out to better cover the area. Pawich would tell other hunters where to go because he knew the land, good place to hunt. Dinaj would go to his favorite spot. He saw a rabbit and was going to shoot, but he would scare the deer if they were near. He walked for a long time. He decided to eat. He could see everything from where he sat. He seen something across the canyon, something bright and moving back and forth toward a pine tree. he decided he would take a closer look. He snuck up on the figure, being as quiet as possible. When he got close, the figure turned out to be a bear dancing back and forth. All of a sudden, the bear turned toward him. He drew his bow to shoot. The bear told him not to be afraid, to take the gun back to his people. The knight ran as fast as he could back down the hill into camp. He told his people what he saw, what the bear told him. They decided to hold the bear. They had no music or corral. They just danced back and forth like a bear. They left the good, harmony in everything. Today we use a one stick, bone, and a metal drum to make music for the bear dance. We have a song that tells the story and sound like a thunder in the spring. The women choose their partners. The women and the men still line up across each other. There is a trail the dance is held in. There is a man called Mosich, the Catman, who keeps the dancers in line. And splits them into couples. The dance still lives, which they used to bring the spring, new life, and good feeling.
watch it all the way to the end to see when we produced that. That one was a year later from the first one. We have some special instruments for the bear dance. We have, back in the old days, they used to use a tree limb, and you can see that this has different sized notches that make a different sound. And nowadays we use an axe handle, and some of my notches have gotten knocked off. I've been doing this for so long that probably need a new, we call it a muach. And then we use a bone. This here is a deer bone, or you can use a big cow bone. Cow bone makes it sound nice and heavy. And we usually have a metal drum, because when we hear that first thunder, that means it's spare dance time in Ute country. And so if you've got kids, what you do is when you hear that first thunder, is you grab their arms and you stretch them, and their legs, stretch them, so that way they'll be tall and lean and all of those things. And, so that metal drum represents that thunder, but I don't have that today. I've got my drum that will serve that purpose. If you can imagine a bear sleeping in its den, and we go in, we wake it up. So the songs themselves are the bear that's grunting and singing as he's dancing, and this just represents the growl. We call it a growl stick nowadays. So I'm going to sing you a song, and that will wrap it up for today. We don't have enough people here to really do some dancing, so you already seen how it is. And remember that the Fort Duchesne Bear Dance is going on now, and it's free, it's open to the public, it's where our powwow grounds are, and just find you a place to park and go check out the dance. If you want to participate, ladies, you want to have a shawl, guys, go sit in the area where the men are being picked. Sometimes the ladies will catch you when they see you even just coming towards the corral and nab you then, but you can't say no, so make sure you get out there and dance if you're picked. Our three Ute tribes, they have different singers and different songs from each one. This one is from White Mesa. White Mesa, there's a family there called Dutchies, and the old man Arthur Dutchie had all his boys. One year I went and recorded them, and this is one of their songs. This was back when I was in film school, so that would have been about 76, 77, so a long time ago. But this is one of their songs, and when you're out there dancing, the women pick their partners, and there's like an introduction part that after you picked your partner, you go out and you wait for your partner to come out and line up opposite you. And but when you start the long strokes, or when you actually step off and start dancing, so that's what I'll do. And our words for thank you and goodbye are one and the same. Tahoya. It's been my honor to be with you today, and hope you enjoy the song.